All right, I think we are live. Yes, we are live. All right, just follow up to my live stream yesterday. There's some stuff that I didn't go over that I'm going to go over now, and it's late, so I'm going to make it quick. Last week we had the death of Ray Sharrow. Did they say what his cause of death was? A brief illness, an aggressive type of cancer. All right, but anyways, Ray Sharrow, former general manager, he died last week. Um, died at the age of 62. 62, that was a big number I talked about last night. Sacrifice, if I can type, sacrifice is 62, you see right there. Sacrifice 62. His real name is Ray John Sharrow. How do I spell Ray John Sharrow? Ray John Sharrow, 62. All right. And yeah, dead at 62. Sacrifice and Ray John Sharrow both equal 62. There we go. What is Ray Sharrow? Ray Sharrow, 46. Let's pull up so April 9th to July 28th. April 9th of this year to July 28th. All right, so he died 110 days before his birthday, and he was born in Minnesota, and he was employed by the Minnesota Wild. Let's do, I think the Sharrow's also something. We'll get to just the last name Sharrow in a sec, but yeah, Minnesota's got that 110 gematria. 155. Let's see if there's anything more here. Um, how many days after his birthday? 255. I don't think there's anything there. But yeah, the 62 thing is what's important, and the fact that it was 110 days before his birthday. Minnesota equals 110. Does Wild equal anything? Not really. But yeah, this is a clear sacrifice, I would say, and especially since he's from Minnesota, he likely grew up a fan of the Minnesota North Stars, who are now the Dallas Stars. And if you watch my live stream from yesterday, you'll know I talked a lot about 62 because their goaltender, Jacob Pottinger, his name equals 62. He signed that big contract 62 days before his birthday back in October. And he's from Minnesota as well. And it probably has to, he did win the Stanley Cup, I think, once with when he was the GM of the Penguins. So there's probably something there, but not quite sure yet. All right, next thing. Mikko Rantanen, who was the former Avalanche, now he's on the Stars, and now the Stars are playing the Avalanche. But he was acquired on March 7th, which was 129 days after his 10/29 birthday. So 129, 1029. Acquired on 3/7. Stanley Cup 37. Rantanen 129 and 129 201 in base 8. And the former star Joe Pavelski just retired after playing in 201 playoff games without winning a Stanley Cup. And 56 and 79, how about that? And if I remember correctly, his first game with the Stars, I'm gonna pull it up here. Yeah, it was this game right here. Yeah, his first game, the Oilers ended up getting their 37th win against the Stars. Stars stayed on 41 wins, got their 22nd loss of the season. And Mikko Rantanen's 79 is the 22nd prime. And Dallas 41. How many points do they get? They got 81 plus 2. They got their 83rd points. No, 84th point. They stayed on 84 points. Edmonton got their 78th point. Is that right? 74 plus 4 is 78. Yeah. Just like Jesuit. 84 and 78. What was the contract that he signed? It was. Wait, hold on a second. Oh, okay, no, it's just. Yeah, 8-year, $96 million contract. So that's. Is that 12 million per year? Yeah, 12 million per year. Let's see if there's anything with. Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. 37 is the 12th prime. Third star number. What is a star number? Okay, yeah, anyways. And as I said in my tweet here, what did I say that? Yeah, the next Stars are on 128 playoff wins. The next win is their 129th since moving to Dallas. So yeah, another clear ritual. Okay, next, as I talked about last night, Ethel Kennedy, the wife of RFK Sr., died on opening night. Yeah, she died at the age of 96. And now I'm pretty sure it's Mikko Rantanen. We're number 96. Yeah, he does wear 96. Okay, good. Yeah, so she dies at 96 on opening night. Now that is the same October 10th, as you see there. That is the same day as the current mayor of Dallas's birthday, Eric Johnson. He's the 60th mayor. Um, we'll talk about that later. But he's also 49 years. Look at this. He became mayor on 6/17. Again, 6/17. Let's see. Yep, 6/17 is the 113th prime number. And Dallas has got that 113. And he's 49 years old right now. So his 49th birthday is when Ethel Kennedy, the wife of RFK Sr., so the sister-in-law of JFK, who was assassinated in Dallas. And now speaking of JFK, there was another Eric Johnson who was a mayor of Dallas, and he took over as mayor right after JFK was assassinated. Here he said he had to take the podium following the shooting, and then shortly after the assassination, he became mayor. Right? He became mayor on the, what does it say? Yeah, on February 3rd. Sorry, yeah, February 3rd. So that's the 34th day of the year. Remember that when JFK was killed, his wife was 34 years old. Just to show you here. So he died in 63. His wife born in 29. So his wife was 34 years old when her husband was killed, and then she died on the 139th day of the year, which is the 34th prime. And then when the Stars won the Stanley Cup in 1999, if you add this up, the final score was 13-9. 139, the 34th prime. Jesuits founded in 1534. Yeah, but anyways, this guy, look what day this guy was born on. He was born on September 6, 1901. That is the same exact day that William McKinley was shot. See, he died. It says he dies on September 14th. But yeah, he was shot on September 6th, 1901. So the guy that becomes mayor right after JFK is assassinated just happened to be born on the same day that on the same day that the last time a president was assassinated. I mean, he wasn't really assassinated on that day, but did I already close it? No, it's right here. Okay. But he was shot on that day and then eventually died a little over a week later. And then yeah, he dies at 93. Oh, no, it was a Dallas TX. Dallas TX 93. That was the year the stars moved to Dallas. The sun is a star. It's 93 million miles away. Jesus, the Son of God, dead on the 93rd day of the year. And of course, William McKinley was shot in Buffalo. As you see there, shot in Buffalo. And then in the 90s, you had Dallas over Buffalo in the Super Bowl. This was on 1/31 to 32nd prime. So always a 32 with Dallas Sports Championships. They won by 35 points. Catholic 35, JFK the 35th president. And look at I want to show you the date numerology of this game. So January 31st, 1993. I'm going to put that in here. January 31st, 1993. 144 and 54 date numerology. What do we have here? Kennedy curse 144 and 54, just like Jesuit order. All right. And then what happened the next year? The two teams played again. Same date numerology, just to show you here. Same date numerology, all right? Here's a Catholic 71 and 35. So yeah, this game they won by 35 points. In this game, it was a little bit trickier. If you go to Jimmy Johnson's Wikipedia page, and then scroll all the way down, you'll see that by winning that Super Bowl, he became 7-1 in the playoffs. So first time they won the Super Bowl, they won by 35 points. Second time, he becomes 7-1 in the playoffs. Catholic 35 and 71. Now that takes us to the 1999 Stanley Cup Finals between Dallas and Buffalo once again. And this game, obviously it shows that it ended on June 19th, but it went to 3 overtimes, so it really ended on June 20th. And June 20th, just to show you here, June 20th, 1999. Well, look at that, 144 and 54 date numerology. Once again, and it'll show you here, the game-winning goal was scored by Brett Hull, who was born on, Brett Hull, born on August 9th, 1964. That's the day leaving 144 days left in the year. And here, August 9th. So he would have been 34 years old, almost 35. Look how long before his 7 weeks and 1 day before his 35th birthday. All right. There's that 71 and 35 once again. All right, but yeah, that point needed to get across about, and of course, as I mentioned here, the Dallas Stars, if they win 16 more, they'll get that 144. And William McKinley was the 25th president. Here we are in 2025, And then you had the Trump assassination attempt last year, and the firefighter who was shot was from Buffalo County. All right, what else do I have to talk about? In terms of players, one thing I was just kind of going through the Stars roster. They said this guy might be injured, but just to keep an eye out. He's born on July 22nd, 227. That's the 49th prime number. Just like Dallas. Just to show you, Dallas 49. 227, the 49th prime. Yeah, I remember when the Mavericks advanced to the NBA Finals last year. They did so in a game that had 227 total points. From what I'm thinking is going to be the end of the Stanley Cup final until his birthday is 35 days later. And he did score 35 goals this year to go along with all those other 35s that we were just talking about. And again, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Dallas connected by I-35. That's where the Stars moved from in '93. Well, I guess one other thing that I could talk about is he won his Ray Shero won his Stanley Cup over the Red Wings. And coming into this season, and I did mention it a couple of times, I think, I was considering the Red Wings to be the East representative in the Stanley Cup Finals. The reason why was that so the San Antonio Spurs they entered I should say they entered the league the same year as the Dallas Stars, and the Spurs and the Stars both won their first championships in the 32nd season because they're both in they're both in Texas. The Stars 32, Texas Independence Day is March 2nd. And anyways, the Spurs also won the Stanley Cup in their 32nd season in San Antonio. And they beat Detroit in this one. So I was thinking before the season, oh, it's probably we might see Dallas versus Detroit in the Stanley Cup final. That did not happen as Detroit failed to make the playoffs. But something that is interesting, if I can find it now. Oh, yes, okay. I do remember what it was going to be. Let's just go to. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but we'll find it here. How do I? Maybe it's not. Oh, that's how they do it. Okay. All right. So this game right here is very interesting because I said here this was Jake Ottinger's birthday, December 18th, 1998, and I talked about yesterday how he was born 6 months and 2 days before the Stars won their only Stanley Cup. So this was his birthday, December 18th, 1998, and the Stars beat Detroit 3-1. The and that does kind of make sense. I mean, hockey is 31. Mike Modano played for the Stars. He was born on here. Look at this. Hockey 67 and 31. Mike Modano was born on June 7th. He's also from the Detroit area. He spent the last year of his career with the Red Wings. 67-31. This is like Modano's homecoming. They went 3-1. Game-winning goal scored 3 minutes and 17 seconds into the third period. And of course, Texas is 66. 317 is the 66th prime. And when the Stars won the Stanley Cup, When the Stars won the Stanley Cup, the game started 3 months and 17 days after Texas Independence Day. And yeah, the game-winning goal was scored by Yuri Lettinen, who I'm pretty sure is Finnish. Yeah, he is Finnish. And of course, Mikko Rantanen is also Finnish. And the Stars and let's pull this up again. Stars versus Panthers. They played these 2 games in Finland earlier this year. And also, so this actually goes back to the Panthers now because Paul Maurice, who's the coach of the Panthers, he actually got his head coaching start with the Detroit Junior Red Wings, who don't even exist anymore. But so there's a connection there, and also the first time that when the Hurricanes made the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time, they played Detroit. So I don't really know why Detroit factors into this, but somehow they do. And yeah, we talked about last night. 106 is if I just pull up the semi-prime list. Yeah, 106. 106, 35th semi-prime makes a lot of sense. And what's funny is the 60th semi-prime is 185. So I was talking here about Eric Johnson being the 60th mayor of Dallas. And 185 and 60 actually go well together because World Trade Center is 185, and 9/11 was 185 days after Osama bin Laden's birthday, and they called it the New Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor is 60, and it was 60 years after Pearl Harbor. So yeah, that makes sense. And I think I also brought this up last night from, what was it? Let's go to 2025. Yeah, so when I'm thinking that the Stars might, if the Stars do win the Stanley Cup on June 17th, that will be a span of 6 months and 2 days before Jake Ottinger's birthday. And yeah, just to show you again, Jacob Ottinger, 62. I think just Ottinger alone equals, yeah, Ottinger alone equals 113 and 49, just like Dallas. And it just read his nickname Jake. I don't think there's really anything there, but yeah, the point was the 62. That's a span of 185 days. And then we got the 60th mayor. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. What's the day leaving? Is it the day leaving 82 days left in the year? Is that right? Yes, it is the day leaving 82 days left in the year. Jacob Ottinger, 82. That's interesting. What's the 26th semi-prime? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew that. Of course I knew that. Stars 77. Yeah, and you got 26-year-old Jake Ottinger, who was the 26th overall pick in the draft. Yep, that's how they do it. Yeah, this is their 58th season as a franchise, just to show you. By the way, the Stars' next win of the season is their 51st win of the season. They lost their last game 5-1, and a lot of people are counting them out because they have a bunch of injuries. 58th season, 32nd since relocating from Minnesota. Jason Robertson led the way with 35 goals. And they had 106 points on the season, the 35th semi-prime. Trying to remember, was there? Can't remember. Why did I think there was a 35 thing with him? I don't remember now. I'll just put his. What does his name equal? His name equals 58. I think his middle name was Lin. Yeah, and then what was this other guy that we just do that? Does that equal 149, the 35th prime? Yeah, 67. Thinking the Stanley Cup Finals might start on 6/7. Hockey equals 67. What would put a J. Eric Johnson? Interesting, interesting. Yeah, and also another thing. Yeah, 201. 201 is the 63rd semi-prime. JFK assassinated in 63. And we know all about those Jesuit connections because I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was 177 days after his birthday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 177 days after his birthday. Uh, the Jesuit order 177 and 201. It's not a surprise, not at all. All right, no one's in the chat, but that's fine. It's late. I don't think anyone's. Not enough people are up right now. I really shouldn't be up, but I don't have time tomorrow to add anything, and I had class earlier tonight, and it's a big mess, but it is what it is. Wanted to get the. Let me look at my notes here, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I talked about Ray Shero in 62. Talked about Migo Rantanen in 129. Talked about both of the Eric Johnsons. Talked about the Cowboys and the Bills. Talked about Jason Robertson. See if there's anything with Yuri Lettis. Oh, yeah, he scored. Look at that. He scored 243 goals in his career. What is 3 to the 5th prime? Oh, or that's not 3 to the 5th prime. I was saying 3 to the 5th power. 243. Look at that. So, yeah, this guy who scored the game winning goal in the game winning goal on Jake Ottinger's birthday, the day he was born. And then they end up winning. I'm pretty sure he also got the assist on. I think he got the assist on the game-winning goal. Yeah, he got one of the assists on that game-winning goal too. Yeah, so that 3 to the 5th power number of goals. What number he wore? He wore number 26. Now Jake Ottinger's 26 years old. Yeah, so this guy's definitely factored in because he's from Finland and Stars and the Panthers played in Finland. Yeah, he's definitely part of the script, no doubt. What is his name equal? How old is he now? He's 51. Oh, yeah, his name equals 62. How about that? And 199, the 46th prime, just like Catholic. All right. Did he play for anyone else in his career? No, he didn't. Only Dallas. How many playoff goals did he score? Yeah, 27. 27 playoff goals. Dallas Stars, 27. And also something that I saw in the news today that was kind of funny. There's this whole tension thing with the this is for Dallas Mavericks Arena. I think this might be the say. Yeah, so they say that the Dallas Mavericks lease comes to end at the end of the 2031 season. Yep, here it is. This is what made me laugh. The team's goal is to have the new arena open for the 2031 to 32 season. Well, where do we know that number? Where do we know those numbers from? Of course, Dirk Nowitzki was still 32 years old when he won it on June 12th, 2011, so he was still 32 years old at the time. And we just search 2010 to 11 Dallas Mavericks. That was their 31st season, so their only championship in their 31st season when Dirk was 32 years old. And they're saying their new arena will be open for the 2031 to 32 season. And Lone Star equals 32, Dallas on 32nd parallel. And 31 makes a lot of sense too because Dirk is from Germany. Bavarian Illuminati equals 127. That's the first prime number. Of course, the Bavarian Illuminati is from Germany. That's interesting that 166 is the 127th composite, so Secret Society 166. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I did want to actually check one more thing. What's the six? I may have already. Oh, sorry, yeah, 185 is the 6. Yeah, we talked about 185. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, this guy was the 49th mayor of Dallas, dead at 93. I think I already talked about that as well. How many days before his birthday was that? June 17th to October 10th. Let's see. June 17th to October 10th. 115. I don't think 115 is a semi-prime, is it? Oh, it is. 37th semi-prime. Stanley Cup 37. How many days after his birthday was it? 250. You know, if they did win it on this day, it would be the 6 years after he became mayor. Again, Dallas 13. 13 is the 6th prime. And the Stars won their only Stanley Cup as their 6th season in Dallas. They won it in 6 games. And they won it in the 3rd overtime, which is the 6th period. That's what they do. All right, I'm getting tired. I'm ending this. I'm glad I got this out before the playoffs start. And yeah, we'll see what happens.